This is day 13 of my semen retention journey, and I'm proud of myself for doing this because at once upon a time in my life, bro, I was so stuck in my lust. I dead ass didn't know what my future looked like, and when I started looking at my future, I realized, like, bro, I have to change what I'm doing right now, or it's gonna lead me down a very dark path that I don't want to go down. So yeah, I ultimately, I had to change what I was doing, like watching corn and watching corn and jacking off and shit like that. I had to stop doing that shit, bro. Like, it didn't bring me nothing. Like, I was already going through a lot of shit at home, and mentally, I was just not in a good place. So, you know, I was looking at that shit as a coping mechanism, but in return, it didn't really help me at all. It just made whatever I was going through even worse in my head. Plus, I was dependent on this shit, so it became a fucking addiction. I had to do this every day. You know, and I just felt so disgusted with myself doing that shit. I felt dead ass felt so disgusted. I felt like every time I look at myself in the mirror, I just be like, ugh, like, bro, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, bro, I definitely had to change that. So I stopped doing that shit. And yeah, bro, like when 2023 hit, bro, when I graduated high school, that's when shit really started changing for me. And that was basically from me telling myself that, bro, this shit has to change. Something has to change. This can't be, what I'm gonna keep doing, man. Like, I don't want to keep doing this no more, bro. I feel disgusted with myself. I don't feel like myself no more. I feel weak. I don't feel like a man, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so bad, bro. I couldn't even talk to females, bro. All the only thing that was on my mind was straight lust, bro. Like, I couldn't even think straight. Even if I was talking to a female, like, I know some of the female friends that I had thought I was weird, bro. Cause it's like, bro, I was basically thinking on my dick, bro. Like, I wasn't trying to have like a genuine conversation or none of that shit. I was just straight trying to fuck. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not that type of nigga, bro. I ain't trying to be like that, bro. I don't want to be that, to be honest. And yeah, bro, I couldn't even talk to females. I couldn't even look at females straight in the eye, bro. And like, the addiction became so bad. I was doing it multiple times a day. Like, man, I gotta stop saying like, but I was doing that shit every day, multiple times a day. I'm talking about 5, 6, 7 times, man. And bro, I used to wake up so drained, so mentally like drained and physically drained, feeling like, man, why did I do this? Like, that post nut clarity, bro, that shit hit different, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, that's a universal experience for everybody, bro. Like, when you about to climax and shit, and then you get that feeling after, bro, that shit hit different, bro. Cause that wave of like despair that hits you, that's like, why the fuck did I even do this? You know what I'm saying? The thoughts coming like, why the fuck did I do this? Like, what did I gain from this shit? You know what I'm saying? For real, brother. That's why I had to change what I was doing. And, when 2023 hit, after I graduated, brother, I started working out. I started doing meditations. I started journaling. I started coloring. I started going out in nature, going outside more. Yeah, bro, just shit like that, bro. I started replacing the bullshit habits that I had with better habits, And I genuinely saw like progress within myself. I was actually proud of myself, man. And once I started doing once I started my semen retention journey, it made things even better. Cause it's like, now, I could control my lust. I could control my urges. I'm no longer controlled by my urges and my lust. You feel me? And I'm no longer a bitch, you feel me? I didn't feel like a bitch no more, you know what I'm saying? I didn't feel weak, I feel strong in the mind. I feel strong mentally, physically, and I was just full of energy too. Like, yeah, bro, I been doing it. I was on my first one was for a year, and bro, just from that year alone, I felt so energetic. Like before I, relapsed, but I felt so energetic. Like it was a whole different feeling, bro, than it is now. And I know that I'm gonna get back to that. Probably even, matter of fact, even more. I'm not gonna say probably even more. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go over that. And this is just a lifestyle for me. This ain't something that I just seen on TikTok or I just seen other people on the way do. I'm doing this out of my own sake, for my own being, Cause bro, I was just tired of being controlled by my urges. I was tired of that shit, bro. Like, to anybody out there that's fighting corn addictions and all that shit, bro, you could beat this shit, bro. You could beat this shit, brother. And don't give up on yourself. Even if you might relapse, don't let that relapse get to your head. Cause, I'm speaking to myself when I say this. Like, I remember when I relapsed after my first semen retention streak. I felt so hard because it's like, damn, bro. I was supposed to keep going. This is supposed to be something that I didn't have to worry about. But it's like, nah. It's like I fell back into that shit, and it was starting to really get to me mentally. But it's like, now, I have a whole different mindset with that shit. Like, even if I do slip up, bro, as long as you get back up and try again, and realize what you failed at and try to correct that, that's all that matters, brother. Facts. And my second streak, which is right now, I'm on day 13. I could notice like 2-3 things. I have way more energy. I feel way more energetic. I don't feel drained. I don't feel just so tired and shit. And yeah, bro, I just feel more energetic. The second thing that I can honestly say that I experience is, my mental fog is starting to go away. I don't, necessarily just think about straight up just pouring and shit every day. I don't think about none of that shit no more. You know what I'm saying? It's more. Yeah, I have way more pure thoughts now, for sure. Yeah, I have way more pure thoughts, and I basically have way more mental strength than I had before. I started my streak, so I could definitely say that for sure. Yeah, bro, I think that's all that's all that I got for right now. More energy, more mental clarity, and oh yeah, my sexual like energy, like, bro, it's so strong, and this is just at day 13, and I'm gonna say at approximately day 13 because I didn't really I didn't really, yeah, I don't really know like the day I really started, so I'm just saying around day 13. I know it's over day 10 for sure. But yeah, bro, to end this video, man, I'm proud of myself for doing this. I am so proud of myself. Chance, bro, when you make this video, you know what I'm saying? When you look at this video fucking 20, 30 years from now, 10, 15, 20 years from now, bro, I want you to look back at this video and be like, damn, bro, you came so far, bro. And I'm proud of you, bro. You know what I'm saying? And my goal for this month is to reach 20 videos. At least 20 videos. And right now I'm at 2 videos for this month, you know what I'm saying? So I gotta get on my shit, you feel me? But yeah, bro, like I'm so glad that I started my semen retention journey, and I feel like this really should be talked about in society more because society is completely over sexualized, and sexual content is everywhere. It might not be hardcore content like you see on the sites, but it's soft core corn everywhere, and I mean everywhere, bro. Like you see it on YouTube, bro. Like Women be wearing the most tightest fucking pants or the tightest fucking shorts, doing a certain erotic dance or a certain dance trend or some shit. Or just all out just doing some free. It's something like that on every type of social media site. And, you know, a lot of people don't have control over their sexual urges, so they go crazy. You know what I'm saying? When they see some shit like that, you feel me? And I feel like if semen retention and shit was actually taught to people, then I feel like society would have way more control over their urges and their sexual energy and their urges and shit. But yeah, bro, you know what I'm saying? For anybody out there that's going through, you know, corn addictions and all that, bro, take it from me, bro. You know, I was at a point in my life where, like, my mental health was so fucking garbage, bro. Like, my shit was like the like dumpster, like straight up just dumpster. You know what I'm saying? Just garbage. You know, I wanted to end it. You know, I felt weak. I didn't feel like myself, basically. And, you know, going through that phase, you know, it was tough, man. It was tough, bro. But don't ever give up on yourself, bro. Don't ever give up on yourself, bro. You know, you can do anything you put your fucking mind to, nigga. You could do anything you put your mind to. You know what I'm saying? You gonna overcome this shit. You know what I'm saying? And even if it takes time, even if it stops right now, you can do this, bro. You know? And the way I did it, bro, like, really, truly, I started replacing them habits them bad habits that I had, bro. I started replacing with good habits, like some shit that could actually benefit me. Like, I started working on, like, these videos, for example. I started, you know, working out, doing just doing some push-ups, or doing like a full body workout, or journaling, or coloring, or meditating on some shit like that. You know, I started replacing them type of habits with, I started replacing, like, watching corn and jacking off and all that shit. I started replacing them habits with some good habits, you know. And don't let yourself get caught in, like, for example, if you find yourself getting bored, or you find yourself like lazy or some shit like that, remember your triggers. That's what I'm finna say. Know your triggers, you know, like certain sites or like certain videos or whatever that pop up or whatever. Try to, like, block those shit so, you know, it don't get to you, you know, it don't spark that trigger, for sure. But yeah, bro, if you choose to, like, comment, share, subscribe, and we out this bitch.